What up, everybody? Right on Writers, and welcome first-time viewers to the Books by Adrian author platform. This is the Books by Adrian YouTube channel on that author platform. Welcome. Like and subscribe. Do all the good things. The website is booksbyadrian.com. I am Adrian Santiago. I write sci-fi fantasy novels. My series is a sci-fi fantasy epic series called MYTHIC, and the first book in that series is a crime thriller in that set in that world called Shadow of the Spark. And that is available now wide. The ebook is only $2.99, as you can see right here, and the paperback is $20, and you can get those through most booksellers, and the paperbacks you can even order signed copies directly from yours truly. So please go to booksbyadrian.com and check all of that out if you're wondering at all what the book is about. The quick pitch is, will the help of a witch and a bounty hunter be enough to catch a prolific serial killer, or will Detective Vandersee's career end before she can close her first case? Those are the stakes. Let's find out in the pages of MYTHIC Shadow of the Spark. This is the Easter Hangout. That's what we're doing today. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to do this. The Easter Eve Hangout. That's what we're doing. We're hanging out, and it's Easter Eve. Both of those things are true. Happy Easter, brother. Happy Easter to you, Jennifer. It's good to see you. Good to see you drop by. Right on. Let's see. Booksbyadrian.com. If you need to get in contact with me for any reason, booksbyadrian@gmail.com is the easiest, best way to do so. Again, like and subscribe. So, I don't have too much of a plan for tonight. It really is going to be kind of a hangout, loosey-goosey kind of deal. I might use the time to get some work done, though I didn't plan on doing sprints. I don't really think that's the goal here, but I'm all for getting work done if that's what we want to do. But I would also love to maybe check out some videos online and I don't know, do some cool stuff. So we're gonna play it by ear, see what's going on today. Well, the family's down in Tampa for Easter as of like a few minutes ago. They just got there. So I've got the house to myself tonight and tomorrow. They'll be back tomorrow evening. In the meantime, y'all are stuck with me. Today is the hangout. Tomorrow is like the real like writing, like getting work done stuff. I'm going to be working on the novel a lot tomorrow. What in the hell is up with my mustache? It was not doing that until the camera turned on. What is happening? Why is it so misshapen? Doesn't normally look like that. It's the angle. It's the angle. What happens if I move you over here? Then you get my good side. See that? It's all about angles. Also, I'm relying on minimal lighting because it's late and I don't want the big bright, like, this is the, that's what the ring light on. Very clear, but Jesus. Let's take it down a peg. This looks a little warmer, a little cozier, right? Are you still amenable to doing book trailers for people? So, the layered answer to that question is as follows. The animation generating software that I use to create the animations, which I then edit into like a whole thing. Uh, that software went through an update recently that was supposed to make it much more versatile and able to do many more cool things. But when the developers created that, they didn't realize that they screwed something up along the way, and they made fonts uneditable. Like each uncustomizable rather, each animation comes with a base font, and then you typically are able to change the font, and as just like you can change the colors and you can change the text and the images and anything. But for some reason, this latest update eliminated the ability to customize fonts, and they had said that they were going to fix that and patch it up. And it has now been months, and I still, every time I raise it up, they're like, "We're working on it. We're gonna fix it." It's like, when? We're working on it. They have no idea when it's gonna get fixed. So, uh, the the end to that very long answer is, I am still happy to make people anything they want me to make them. Unfortunately, I can't make anything. You know what I mean? Like I just, like, I am uh kind of, my hands are tied with I'm limited in my abilities currently, because I don't want to pay for another software. I paid for this one. I paid for a lifetime of this one, and so, like, I resort to waiting until they fix it. In the meantime, I can tell, for example, this animation that I made for the Easter thing. I'll play it one more time so that we can talk. So that's an example of a raw animation that I literally made like 5 minutes ago before this thing started, and I didn't edit it further. That's just the raw thing, what it looks like. Normally, I would edit further. I was able to change the colors of the eggs and put my logo and write whatever I wanted in the text. But that text, that font was the only option. And normally, I would change the fonts to be in accordance with my brand. I use very specific fonts. This is my font right here. You see, it's the mythic one is for the headlines, and you'll see it in the logo as well. And then the Shadow of the Spark title one, that's my regular text for regular writing. And I can't edit my own stuff to look like that right now, and it kind of sucks. So that's the thing, is I feel bad like charging people money when I literally can't do everything that I normally should be able to do. So, with that being said, if you have a project that you would like something made for, and you want a preview of what it might look like, I'm happy to throw something together and show you what it would look like, and you can decide if you want to go further. We can do that. Um, but I feel bad, like, being like, oh, I want to charge this much for the, and then I can't do the thing. I don't know. It's just, so I actually took the commissions off of my website, off of my Ko-fi. I just made it so that I can't take them right now, but I'm open to it. I just, it's up to the person. I believe we just had our first. I believe we just had our first guest up here. Let's see who's here first. Let's take this thing off. Well, boogers, I understand though. Thank you for, yeah. So, like I said, we can talk about it further, but I'm limited at the moment. Ben, old buddy, old pal.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, man, give me 1 second. I wasn't prepared because
Don't
I
worry,
am.
I wasn't really. I mean, I wanted to join in. I can't actually find where your YouTube thing is because I tried going on
Oh,
YouTube and I couldn't find it.
well,
So I just joined in StreamYard. Oh, there we go. Eve Hangout. Fair enough.
there we go. All right. You found it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, as
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I was going to say, as somebody who has used your services twice before for the trailers, they are absolutely awesome.
See, but in yours, they were fully customizable, and I could do anything that I needed. And now those trailers would have been limited, like whatever. font I was stuck using with. That kind of sucks.
Mm.
But yeah, so yours were from a day when I could do anything, and now I'm limited until they fix it. So
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah, it's just one of those things where like I don't want to be open for business if I'm not capable of doing everything that I should be able to do. I mean, customizing fonts is pretty standard stuff. I
Mhm.
shouldn't be waiting for months for them to patch that up.
Mhm.
I was just getting that. Thank you for beating me to it, Jen. Yeah, dude, congrats on the new book.
Thank you. Thank you.
It just came out, what, a couple days ago? 2 days ago?
Today.
Today? Oh, for some reason I thought it had already come out.
I've
Today.
been very for the first time ever. I've been very active on social media. So for every single day this week, I posted something. So
That's why I thought it had already come out. I'd probably been seeing stuff all week. Right on, dude. That's awesome. So this is the third in the series.
it is. Yep.
Nice, nice. How long did this one take you? Like a year, right?
Year and a half.
Year
I
and a half.
started it after the second book, and that was the end of 2022.
A year and a half ain't bad, man. That's not bad at
Yeah,
all.
I'm probably going to end up doing about 2 for book number 4. But
That's not
what's your plan for Mythic number 2? Because you're coming out
Mythic.
with like a lot of side books to bridge the gap.
Well, that was the plan, and those things are still in the works. But right now, I'm focused on the main novel, so those things are on the back burner for now.
Mhm.
I'm thinking that once the main novel goes off to editors and stuff, I can then go back to that side stuff and put it out and get people psyched for book two. But yeah, the plan for book two is still April of next year.
Nice.
Um, that would put
And
it at 2 years from Shadow of the Spark. So if I can pull that
okay,
off, that would be nice. Yeah.
where are you? Sorry, I come to this a little bit late. Where are
No,
you
you're good.
in the timeline?
So I am still pretty early on, if I'm being honest, but the what's it called? My process this time around should turn out a much cleaner first draft and make a much swifter editing process. So I'm just spending a lot of time on the beginning part, and that way I can just like really fly through the writing. So what I'm doing now is a zero draft. I want to get like a 50K zero draft,
Okay,
um, and that's going to be, for lack of a better term, my outline. But the what makes it special is that I'm mostly pantsing this zero draft. I know I know where it ends and I know where I'm starting, but I'm making up most of it along the way, and it's been a lot of fun.
nice.
It's yeah, it's I'm probably halfway through this zero draft.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're really far along then.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get it done by the end of next month. The
Damn.
original the original deadline for the zero draft was the end of this month, but I fell behind, so next month.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all, man. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Book three, Ben, though. Book three. That's gotta feel different, right? Like there's something special about this third one.
Yeah, I can agree with that statement. Yeah, I mean, I've pushed along, and book one obviously felt inevitable at that point. I mean, there was a lot of momentum sort of carrying me through, and the same thing with book two, because I mean, I cut out a lot of stuff from book one, and that just 100% ended up in book two. Like book two is a good third of a third of book two ended up. What am I trying to say?
That a third of book one ended up in book two.
Yes, there we go.
I was picking up what you were putting down. I was gonna let you get there. Yeah, the same kind of thing is happening with me. Recently, my series grew from a trilogy to a 5 book series, and so now I'm like, well, now the second book doesn't have to feel quite so uh, over full.
Right.
There was a whole other main character and storyline that I was going to include that I've now just plucked completely out of it, and she's not coming in until book three. So yeah, things like that are happening where it's like changing the each book, changing the series, but it's really just like all the original ideas settling in. Sounds like that's what was happening with a third of your book one ending up in book two, just like these ideas like finding their proper place in the series,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. How like how's this third book, like what makes it stand apart from the first two? What makes it kind of unique amongst its peers?
It's darker.
Ooh, I like that already.
There are a lot of things that I kind of hinted at, and yeah, there are. They get outright stated. Um, I really like some of the character buildup that I worked with.
Okay.
So there were some details that
You're trying to be so cryptic because your book just came out today.
yeah, so there were definitely some details that I hinted at. There were some things that some beta readers kind of saw, like they questioned more or less. And one of the cool things is that a beta reader actually got things like completely right.
Okay. Okay.
So that's always fun.
Yeah. They picked up the proper clues and put them together in the proper order. That's that sort of thing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to people finally doing that. It's gonna be fun. Right on, man. That's exciting.
It
So,
is.
third book, man. You've done this three times. Uh, what's your go to move during a book launch? Like, what's your
Wing it.
wing it?
I mean, I had like this really cool, elaborate plan to want to do things,
Mhm.
and I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I just feel like I kind of winged it.
What's that quote that like the you make the plan and then like as soon as the first shot is fired, you throw out the
It's
plan.
what's that, Sun Tzu or something, where no
No plan
no
survives first
the
contact
engagement.
with the
Yes.
enemy.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there've been different versions of that saying. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like you set up all these plans and then it's like, nope, throw them out. Let's switch things up. Think on your feet.
Yep.
Hi there, dropping in. Hit the like button. Thank you very much for that like. Much appreciated, Nicole. Enjoy your bookish nook. Who is the mystery guest? Oh yeah, our things aren't showing. This is Ben. This is Ben Pick. Where's your camera, Ben?
I am not on camera day, dude. I rearranged my basement to do today's show because the camera normally faces the book stand, and instead I had it facing the couch. So I redid my basement, and I don't feel like I don't feel like fixing things. That's tomorrow, bro.
What state are you in again?
Virginia.
Virginia. I live in Florida. We don't have basements, but I'm originally from Buffalo, and we did have basements. I've we used to have like the an old TV with the Nintendo down in the basement. So while the grown
Oh,
ups
I
were
remember
hanging
that
out
stuff.
upstairs, all the kids were downstairs playing Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
The golden eye on the four screens. Ben, I know you have said you would do a beta read for me. I haven't taken you up on that offer because I'm having trouble writing a book that is actually working right.
Did I?
I feel
Was
you.
I a beta reader for Mythic? I feel like I read an early version of it.
You did. You read yeah, like the version right before like the final edits before it. Yeah, yeah. You read a pretty close to the final version, and then you read it again for the book club.
Yeah,
My man read my book twice. That's what's up.
it's a thick book too, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised you read it twice. Does Ben have a book out today at all? Well, yes, he does. I wish I had your book image up on the screen, man.
I don't worry about it, dude. I just joined in because I wanted to like say hi. This
I
wasn't supposed to be about me.
Well, still, man, it's still your launch statement. It's not like we're gonna ignore that shit. That's crazy. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, Jocelyn. Welcome. Yeah, well, I'd have to make it on the fly. Like, why don't you make one and send it to me? Stop talking out your ass.
Hmm.
Love you, Richard. I'm
Oh wow,
feisty.
Richard's. I'm impressed. Richard's here.
Right? It's late, right? Isn't it like
Oh,
what?
it's after midnight.
Yeah. These Brits staying up late, man. It's bad for your health. Go get some rest. Let's see here. I want to see if I can make a graphic for your book while we're here. So, let's see. Right on, man. So, how was today? How did it go?
Everything went fine. People joined in. They were actually, listening to things I said, which was awesome.
I missed it, man.
Dude, don't feel bad. Like it's no big. It's not a big deal. Obviously, if you were there, it would have been cool. But like, I hold nothing against you, and everybody's got their own lives, and it's a Saturday at noon. So, especially somebody with kids, like, dude,
Yeah, yeah, and
oh,
the wife was driving down to Orlando, so like I had
nice.
limited time to spend with them. So I came home a little early, spent it with them.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'll do basically anything for my guy Ben. That's what's up. Also, he saw what I ate today. Ooh, oh,
Yeah, he
do I
went out for a nice meal.
dare I ask what he ate?
Meat. I don't know. I am really.
Just meat, like a plate of meat.
Yeah, he went to a really nice meat place.
There was a what are those places called?
Fogo de Chine.
Sorry,
Fogo de Chine. Brazilian
no,
barbecue is what you're.
Brazilian barbecue. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Brazilian barbecue places. There's one in Disney World. Um, it's like at the I think it's at the Wilderness Lodge Hotel or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called, but it's like the wilderness themed one.
Mm-hmm.
And the restaurant's called Ohana. After the Lilo and Stitch thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And man, that restaurant, bro. That's what it's all about, man. You just sit there, turn your sign over, they bring over all the meats and just load you up as much as you want. You get the beef sweats after that place.
Oh yeah.
Dude, this is a dope cover.
Thank you.
Damn, this might be my favorite.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
The first one is becoming like classic in my brain. You know what I mean? Like that image of him falling through the portal. It's just
That's why I did that way.
yeah, it's becoming like really classic. But with each new book, like it's almost like building like a much bigger picture of the world. You know what I mean? Like I really dig that.
Hmm. Cool, cool.
I dig it a lot. Okay, we're gonna use this baby right here to make your little graphic.
Hmm.
Boom, boom, boom. Nice. So, what else is going on, man?
I'm relaxing. I have a race coming up next weekend, but aside from that,
Oh yeah, you like running shit, don't you?
yeah. It's a 10 miler, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, man, you're a runner. How long is it? You said
10 miles.
10.
Yeah.
Runners. Why 10 miles? Ugh. No, thank you. This is way too long to run. I don't want to run that long unless something's chasing me.
Not that bad.
10 miles though. It's impressive. Book three's cover avoided having allusions to the shadow figure's penis too, which was good.
Thanks, Richard.
It also has a title I can't make fun of because expanding cracks. Like I had zingers for that for days, man. Like I didn't use any of them because I respect you too damn much. But
That's perfect
that
fine.
title just invites just like expanding cracks. Love it. But this one, yeah. What is it? Saving the Lost? Is that? Yeah, the
Yes.
Lost. That's dope.
Lost are being saved.
And you know what's funny is because of the font, it also resembles Lost, like the show Lost, like their logo. It's a
Huh.
it's a similar font, so saving the lost like that.
I did not find it that way.
It's bringing me nostalgic vibes.
Well, I'm glad I could help with that.
Yeah, running. Yeah, dude, tell me about it. Like, who wants to run? Yeah,
Went for a run today, man. It was nice.
yeah, I know it's actually really good for you, and you should probably do it more often. But still, ugh. God, everybody's changing everything, even my image uh, processing software, whatever it's called. It's even that's different now. Like the whole like HUD display is different. Why you gotta keep changing shit?
Because everybody's got to get updates because that's why you pay for it.
God damn.
If things stay the same, you'd be happy and you never buy anything new, man. Consume, consume, consume.
Expanding cracks is probably what today's gut buster meal will do tomorrow.
Thank you, Richard.
Richard, go to the Discord and hop hop on the link. I'll hop in the stream with us. Like let's hang out. I don't do interviews no more. This is a hangout. Here we go. I think I got it here. Where is it? Element. Bingo. Got it. See? I found it. I'm not dumb. All right. Saving the loss. Damn, that's a nice cover. I'd love to, but I'm horizontal at the moment. That's
Ooh,
gross, Richard. That's nasty. Not really. Overlay 2. Because I already have one called overlay. And now we upload. And we're going to show everybody your super cool cover
oh,
right
thank you.
here. Oh, it's too small. Whatever. That's it. It's hard to gauge it when you're doing it. How is it gross? I'm just in bed. Yeah, I know. I just, I don't know, dude. It's late. Leave me alone. Hmm. Yeah, like you can still like hold up your camera phone like in bed, like above your head, and just point it at your face. You can just do that. You don't need like a you don't need a keyboard, dude. Um, bro,
What?
I'm so proud of you. Third book.
Thank you.
That's freaking dope.
Absolutely.
That's dope AF. All right, so there we go. Well, there we go. Nice, 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 nice. Falling through. All right, so how many books left in the series? 4 more?
Uh, 3 more. So I'm planning for it to be a 6-parter. Whether I get there, whether it works, we will see.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can leave it at 5 and be content with 5. Just because my books are fucking big, you know.
Gotcha.
But
Well, you like big books and you cannot lie.
and you other brothers can't deny when a book walks in with itty bitty waist.
Take it all away, man. You got this.
Oh man, no, I do, man. I do like big books. 'Tis true. I like writing them. They're fun. You know, I like weaving all the stories together and stuff. I am trying to rein things in on this next one. You know what I mean? Get a little more control over the storylines, keep them a little more focused, keep the pacing up a little better. Get into things a little faster, all that stuff. Yeah, trying to make the improvements. I also want to get a whole other like a new edit of the first book done so that before the second one comes out I can release like a nice updated edition, special edition or something. Put the prologue back in there, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I won't be doing the interview shows anymore, I want to try to do the audiobook, even if I have to do it myself. I think once we move into the new place, I'll have quiet areas where I can record.
Okay. Okay.
That went off the rails in a hurry. Did it? I'm
Quiet
sorry.
areas, you say? I have no idea what that's like.
Quiet areas, yeah. I don't really know what that's like right now either. But the place that we're moving into is apples and oranges compared to the shoebox that we live in right now. And this shoebox is twice the size of the shoebox we lived in before. So, we're making progress. We're headed in the right direction. Keeps growing. Yeah.
All right, all right.
Yeah, we're moving into this townhouse, 3 bedrooms, two stories tall, 2 full baths. So our family can finally space out a little bit, breathe a little better. The kids will be upstairs, we'll be downstairs. There'll be a little divide. It'll be nice.
Cool,
You know,
cool.
yeah, little backyard, front porch, the whole dealie. It's gonna be cool.
Like the sound of that.
Yeah, and the landlord is my buddy. Like he's moving out. He's moving away to Louisiana. He needs somebody to live in his place that he can trust, and it dovetails perfectly with my lease going out. Like it's perfect. So it's awesome.
Cool.
The triple white shoebox. Yeah, this new one is definitely not a shoebox. It's a proper home. Like I feel, it's gonna feel like when you get home from a long day of work and you take your shoes off, and then you take your socks off and your feet can finally like expand to their proper size. Like, I think that's what it's gonna feel like moving into this place. Just the that's nice. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, guys, if anybody's writing, I know we're not doing like sprints and stuff, but even if you want something to write later, I have these super cool writing dice here. And I'm incorporating this into my sprints from now on, so I'll be using it tomorrow. But if you guys want a prompt on demand at any point, just shout it out in the chat, and I'll roll the dice for you and let you know what you'll be writing. And it's a fun little challenge to like write whatever the hell this thing tells you to do. It's crazy. I'm psyched for my kids. I'm really psyched for my kids because they're still going to share a room, but it's going to be by choice. Like they're choosing to share this room because neither one of them wants to give it up to the other one. And it's this big like L-shaped room, and their bunk beds are L-shaped. Like there's no like below and above. It's an L-shaped bunk bed, and they're both like high up, so it would fit perfectly into this room. And then like the inside of the L has windows that look down on the living room. So like during like parties and stuff or family gatherings, that's gonna be so much fun to like have that. I don't know what it's gonna be fun. Somebody's here. Hey,
hello.
Welcome, Richard.
Oh,
So
boy.
it's a day of no cameras. Like you guys are just leaving me out here to drive by myself.
Listen. You're not going to be looking at me in bed as much as some people may want to see that. You'll have to subscribe to my OnlyFans for that.
What do you wear to bed, Richard?
I'm not telling you that, but enough.
Enough. I wear enough.
What can I say? I'm here to hang out with Ben because Ben has had an awesome launch day, and I'm very excited for him. So well done.
Happy launch day, Ben. Yes. I'm super psyched to finally read the second one because I haven't read the second one yet and get caught up. I'm still. Don't whoa me. I'm still reading fucking the McMurdo Triangle. Like everyone.
I recently read that. It was really good.
Yeah, well, every once in a while, Martin is like, "How far along are you?" I'm like, "Bro, stop asking me, man." Like,
I have to say,
reading progress take what it takes.
I kind of breezed through the McMurdo Triangle. It was in a pleasant way better than I was expecting, to be honest.
It's not a knock on his writing. He's a phenomenal writer, and I love reading his books. I don't want to put them down. I just don't have time to read. I could be reading right now, but instead I'm here talking to you.
So interestingly, I annoyed Martin incessantly about his cover for the McMurdo Triangle. I said, "Martin, why is there no triangles on the cover? It's called the McMurdo Triangle."
And then on the third book, he has 3 ships, which in turn make a triangle on the.
So when he signed the book for me, which I got him to do, I think last year, he put "Hi Dickie," so first red flag there.
Wow.
He then drew a triangle and then said, "Now stop asking."
That sounds like Martin.
He is a troll, so that's good fun. But
He's a troll.
he's a little rascal, is Martin. Not like Ben, who is lovely in every facet of the imagination.
Metal black, but okay, all right.
You're kind of glad that I'm not on camera because you just see me looking in awe at Ben at the moment.
He is rather awe-inspiring, isn't he? Three books under his belt, man. Like he's chugging right along. He's a legitimate, like, independent author. This guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually got a series, that's not just like 2 books. But yeah, well done, Ben.
I have one book and call it a series. This dude actually has a series.
I mean, your one book, Adrian, is long enough to be a series in itself.
That's fair enough. Well, to some, I suppose. To some. How would I go about getting a signed copy of your books? The answer for mine is simple. Go to booksbyadrian.com. I will throw that up on the screen. There's going to be a link there to my Ko-fi. On my Ko-fi, you can order a signed copy of Shadow of the Spark or a signed copy of The Death and Rebirth of Bella Erdman, or you can bundle them together. There is shipping costs involved, but
How dare you?
I know. But other than the shipping costs, the price is no different from Amazon. You pay $20 on Amazon, you pay $20 with me. I'm not charging you for the signature. I'm not charging you for personalizing it, and I will personalize it. The only thing extra that you're paying is shipping because I'm shipping it myself. That's it.
I'm trying to think the best way of answering Jennifer's question. Oh, I'm scared. Hold on. Ben, you answer while I scramble.
Sure.
Go ahead, Ben.
I'm
not going to read it out loud because I'm humble.
Yeah, I don't have a good way of getting signed copies.
Yeah, you need to fix that, bro. Fix that shit.
I know. You include it in your
love signed
newsletter.
copies.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
Yeah, here's the way I look at signed copies. If I sell an actual paperback copy on Amazon, I'm getting maybe $1 and change out of that transaction. I'm losing a lot of money. And it's at $20. Like, it should, because of the volume of it, it should cost more. But I want to keep the cost down because I want people to buy it. So I'm not making any money on those Amazon paperback sales. But an author copy for myself only cost me $7 and change. So charging the same $20 on.
But at the same time, you need to ship it out.
Yeah, but you can also use the media rate, and as long as it's within the United States, you get a huge discount on shipping. So at the end of the day, you're still making way more money doing signed copies than anything you're going to sell on Amazon. For me, I'm not
explain that media rate, because when I go to the post office, I don't know.
Yeah, when I go to the post office to ship a book to a customer, I let them know I'm an author. What's in this box is a product that I made. It's a book. I'm sending it to a customer. I would like to use the media rate. And they give the discount of the media rate. I've shipped from Florida to California for like $6.
Ooh, didn't know that was a thing.
Now, that's a U.S. thing. I don't know if it applies overseas or like how that works. I tried to use it shipping to Canada. I shipped to Canada once, and they were like, no, that's another thing. You can't do the media rate for Canada. There you go. There's a way to contact the gent.
Yeah, Jennifer, if you contact me, we will sort something out. I don't want you to put your address publicly for obvious reasons, but I'm happy to send a copy of my book to you. I will personalize it. I'll send you a couple of bookmarks and some other shizzle that I have floating around. I need to order some bookmarks for my book too, because I don't know if anyone saw the cover to that. For the new one. For the new one, Price for the Color of Money. It is
fantastic.
Really good.
That is something I include with my signed copies as well. I include bookmarks and
And he's put a QR code on the back, so we're learning.
I put two. There's two QR codes. There's one on the front and there's one on the back, and they do two different things. This one will lead you to the website and therefore the newsletter sign up. This one leads you to the actual book where you can buy the ebook and all that kind of stuff.
That is good thinking. I'm happy to send books out. I kind of had I'm a little bit wary of shipping to the States at the moment, because last time I sent Ben a care package, it almost got lost.
Well, that's because that was user error. I guess not user error, but like
USPS's error.
Yeah, they delivered to the wrong place. It's understandable. They delivered to the same address, just minus over a couple streets.
It was close enough.
Nah, dude, we live at an apartment complex, a condo complex, and our building is E, and our number is 22. Down this same road, there's a different apartment complex, and they also have an E22. It's a different address, but it's on the same road, and they both have E22s. So shipping people just think that they're the same thing, and we have to check their porch all the time for our packages. Like when I check my mail here, I then walk my ass down to the other neighborhood and I check their mail too, basically.
I had it once because I live in a sort of apartment block. It's only sort of 16 units. So it's only little, and literally the postman brought my downstairs neighbour's parcel up to me and put my parcel downstairs. I'm thinking, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It's literally the same bloody thing, so it didn't make any difference at all.
He's trying to get you talking to your neighbors. He's trying to set you up.
I don't want to talk to my neighbors.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
he's trying to get you laid.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's a wingman.
I think it's a lot like dating a co-worker. You shouldn't date your neighbor because you have to live with them or near them.
Okay. I don't believe in those types of rules for myself, although I am at this point married, so I guess they they no longer apply.
Ben is also married.
But in my single days, I
am.
Like, hey, what?
I said I am married too.
Yes. But in your day, did you have that rule for yourself? No dating coworkers, no dating.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, it kind of helps out that I've already spoken down on my coworkers once today, so I'll just do it again. I'm attracted to intelligence. So there was a place I worked at, which was I described it as an intelligence deficit. And, yeah,
it was the void into which all intelligence falls.
Ben, did you just say you've broken down on your coworkers once today already?
Well, I mean, I said the same thing earlier.
Okay. I thought you just said you've been crying about work on Easter Saturday. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let work ruin Easter. That would be bad. Bye, Jennifer. Have a lovely evening or whatever it is you're doing. Who knows? I was going to say one thing about the whole ebook royalty, paperback royalty is, yes, I make more on my ebooks, but I kind of find it more fun to sell a paperback because it's my book in physical form. It's more satisfying to me to sell a paperback or have my book as a paperback.
How much of that is personal bias? Because
it's about 95% personal bias.
Yeah, because I prefer to read, actual books. I have read ebooks. I do read ebooks.
That's a controversial statement, Adrian.
Sorry, physical books. I do read ebooks, but I prefer physical books. Yeah.
So what I did for Ben's book is I pre-ordered the ebook, which I was very happy to do. The minute his pre-order went up, I was like, of course, Ben, here's the little screenshot of my order. Here you go. But I will not read the ebook because me and ebooks just don't get on. It sounds like an experience. But as soon as that paperback comes through my door, I will read the shit out of it. And I can't wait for it. And actually, one thing I noticed, Ben, because I know you've gone KDP only for this one, is that when I looked at the page today, it said, I could have a copy of your book tomorrow. And holy shit, compared to bloody Ingram Spark, who I call Ingram Shart because they're so fucking awful, it is night and day. It is night and day. Oh, by the way, Adrian, am I allowed to swear on your channel?
Of fucking course you are.
Aw,
Huzzah!
happy Saturday.
Yeah, I'm just staring at the cover of Saving the Lost, dude. It is
cool. So good. I'm really surprised Ben isn't selling prints of these covers because I would.
This one in particular would make a hell of a poster. That's a badass poster with the building like crumbling in the background.
It's really good. It's really good. It's
dope. It's dope.
If I was to be frank with Ben right now, I would say it's better than the book 2 cover.
Well, that's because you don't like expanding cracks.
I mean, I liked the book, but I thought the cover wasn't quite as good as the first one. But this one really kind of brings it.
Well, again, I feel like the first one has become like such a classic image to us now. Like the way that we look at it, like that's classic now. So I feel like the second one is going to take a little time to grow on everybody. But there's just something that's really popping about this third one. Like I agree that it's probably my favorite of the 3 now because it's so good.
It is really good, and I think throughout all 3 covers, there's definitely a cohesive kind of like synergy. So, Ben, you've done really well with your kind of brief, and yeah, I think you're definitely going to sell. One thing I wanted to ask Ben, as it happens, yes, it's not will you marry me? Because I know you're. I wanted to ask. Now you've got 3 books out. Do you think you're now going to think about doing a box set for the first 3 books?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
I'm just thinking that might be a good idea.
True.
You know, I know that once I get to 3 books, I'm going to want to do a box set, but I'm also probably going to fight it a lot because knowing that the series is going to be 5 books, it would feel incomplete to make a 3-book box set. But I understand the marketing, you know, the marketing thinking behind putting the 3 books out as a box set, but it's an incomplete box set in my eyes.
Yeah,
right?
I think in your case, Adrian, you'd have to wait for the whole set, and also you'd have to consider. I'm literally thinking this off the cuff, by the way. I've not given this any thought whatsoever. That is gonna go on my tombstone. By the way, I've not given this any thought whatsoever.
Yeah.
Is that the trouble with the box set is you then risk cannibalizing your individual book sales. So whether that's a thing to think about, who knows? I'm literally just.
Yeah, but at that point, my regular sales will have stagnated. So
that's true.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. I know that when I go to the grocery store and I have to get, 2 different cereals or whatever it is, and I see that sale that says, you can buy, one for $3 or whatever it is, $6 for 2, or you can get 3 for $8. And I'm like, oh, I save $1. I'll get 3. I only need the 2, but I'm gonna get the 3. And so I'm thinking about that with the books, and it's like, oh, I've discovered this new writer. I want to check out his stuff. I can buy 1 book for this much, or I can get all 3 for a savings. I'm going to get all 3.
I think if people notice a saving, whether it's perceived or not, they're going to go for it. So I don't know. And it's something to think about. I would worry about doing it right now. I think you've done an awesome job with your book already. But you know what? It's something to think about going forward, isn't it?
Well, it's that I don't know if what it's called. It's that logic where like, oh, I'm spending more money than I planned to spend, but because I'm getting more things than I should for that amount, I somehow
perceive more value.
I'm saving money somehow. It's like, are you like, yeah, sure you
I'm
are.
saving money if I
wasn't planning on buying a big screen TV, but now that I'm here,
I'm going to save some money and buy this big screen TV.
I'm with Jocelyn. It's nice to see my book in a tangible format, which is really nice. It's just nice to see that thing off a computer screen actually as a, oh my word, he's got one to hand. Oh, it's a chonker, isn't it? That one. Ooh,
It's a big boy. I'm very
you could
proud.
you could literally beat someone to death with it.
I don't think so. It's fairly floppy.
That's what she said.
Oh man, dude. I don't know. I keep telling myself I'm trying to tighten up the second book, but it's probably going to be bigger.
So, what is going on with book 2, Mr.
Oh, I
Adrian?
was just talking to Ben about that. I feel like I would be repeating myself, but I'll make it snappy. I'm working on a zero draft right now
A
for book.
vomit draft. Good.
Yes, a vomit draft. But the idea is to jumpstart a much cleaner first draft out of this zero draft. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Good stuff. This is the thing.
I'll be happy about that. I'm pantsing it, most of it.
Oh, you devil! You devil! I can't do clean first drafts. I do the messiest of first drafts and then progressively clean it up, or not, as the case may be.
Well, see, I did that for the first book, and I want to try something different for the second one. So I'm thinking that a 50K zero draft, where I'm not, getting in a lot into like the imagery or the prose too much. I'm just telling myself the story.
You can expand it later.
And I can expand it literally like line by line. Like once I'm happy with like the sequence of events, then I can just go turn this line into a couple of pages, turn this into a couple of pages, and no, a couple of pages. That's how you make a really big book. You turn a line into a couple of pages, not a paragraph. The paragraph isn't long enough.
That's fair enough. I understand where you're coming from there.
And that's where I think that the cleaner draft is going to come from, because the structure of the story will be cleaner from the jump.
So in a way, your zero draft is actually your outline.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually exactly what I said earlier. Yeah, that zero draft will essentially be my outline.
Because I'm currently outlining a project that I'm supposed to be starting on Monday for Camp NaNoWriMo. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was discombobulated by changing positions.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just playing with things. So, Camp NaNoWriMo.
I'm going to be writing a fantasy book, which I've never done before. So that's going to be fun to try out.
I read that on was it your newsletter or was it in the Discord? You were talking about.
I probably mentioned it in both, to be honest. I can't remember what I've said and everything. It's probably Discord because I can't shut up in there.
I got really excited. I don't know about Ben, but I got excited when I read that, because I would love to see you write a fantasy.
I was telling Ben about this idea yesterday, and he was also very excited. He's very good with me like that.
Yeah, there's just like a fantasy is not something I expect out of you, and so that excites me to hear you say that you're writing a fantasy. I'm like, oh, because I have no idea what to expect. You know what I mean?
So to go into it a little bit more, this year has turned into more of a freestyle, write whatever the fuck I want year because of stuff that happened.
Dive in. Justin wants to hear the deets.
So what I would say is I actually came up with a really good kind of line that I shared with Ben in a message. It's political intrigue in a magical world undergoing an industrial revolution.
And I wish I had something that snappy to advertise my own book.
Listen,
I'm getting season 1 of Legend of Korra vibes.
I have not watched that, so
that's fine. I might still be right on the money, and you don't even know it. But that's that's the image that comes, because they are going through an industrial revolution during that time, and it's fantasy world.
I'm googling this now. Legend of Korra. Okay, I'll look that up.
It's the sequel to
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, it's the sequel series. It's the next Avatar after him.
Is it the next thing that Netflix is going to ruin?
Probably.
It's probably quite ironic that the character of Aang from Avatar has the Reddit downvote symbol on his forehead.
I think the Reddit download button has Aang's arrowhead on it. I'm pretty sure Aang had it first.
I think he did, to be honest, because let's face it, Reddit's a mess. But yeah, it's a really exciting project because, like I said, I want to have a bit of a freestyle year. I'm kind of having a bit of a write whatever I want year. It's
Nice.
like at the moment, I'm trying to read sci-fi and fantasy that's not set on this crummy planet because I've had some stuff going on this year that's happened. So I kind of want to be away from planet Earth, as it were. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm, really excited to sort of dip my toe into fantasy. Again, I'm going into it fairly blind, so I'm not kind of like influenced by anything.
Nice.
So I'm going to kind of do it my way. And years ago, I had a very big problem with fantasy because I read Lord of the Rings and fucking hated it, and I didn't want to read fantasy again for about 15 years.
Richard, isn't it like that's anti-British almost, isn't it?
Well,
Going
probably.
against your own countrymen.
Yeah, but Tolkien was such a hack.
No, he wasn't.
Bloody was. He spent 50 pages talking about
You don't
trees.
you don't like his style, but he wasn't a hack. I mean, come on.
I mean, the thing with fantasy to me is that Tolkien was so influential on the fantasy genre, and the fact that I didn't like so much of Lord of the Rings put me off the whole thing. So I've been burned off of it for
because everything is flavored with Lord of the Rings flavors. You don't like
exactly, yeah. Because it's set so many archetypes. It's like, let's see if I can do it a little bit different. So my project that I'm talking about now is my kind of chance to do fantasy my way. And I'm really excited to give it a go.
That's why it excites me. Again, that's exactly why. Because number one, I know that it's going to be quintessentially Richard fantasy, and two, I don't know what that is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't wait.
You can either be scared or excited. So
I'm both. I'm terrified and riveted simultaneously.
Will I work in pineapple on pizza? Who's to say?
For the love of God, how long did we make it before you? You've been here what, 10 minutes?
I have, yeah. We'll see. But yeah, it's exciting times. I'm really excited to starting it on Monday. So no pressure on me, but I've got tomorrow to finish my outline for this book.
No pressure, huh?
I find that pressure like this actually kind of inspires me to actually get on with it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm also currently working through the next draft of my second Price War book. I had a very lovely beta reader who literally put comments on every page of the manuscript, even though he didn't have to.
That's nice.
By the way, it was Ben.
That's what we hope for with and critique partners. It's just good, solid feedback.
Honestly, I will say one thing: Ben is an incredible beta reader. So if you are lucky to attract his attention, then he's a golden one. You should definitely reward him accordingly.
I agree. One that was very good for me was my sister, who did the first developmental edit on mine, because her notes as she went down, she would make no she would not separate her editor notes from her reader notes. They were just all together. So you would be reading and it's like, yeah, you got to take out this and this is wrong punctuation, whatever. And then in the next sentence, it would be like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. I'm thinking that this means that later on, and she'll give you theories and things that are, plaguing her, answers that she wants, all this stuff, and you're getting it all as you go down. And I love that, the reader experience, because that's very important to me. It's just as important as all this is writerly advice. I also want to know what is the reader feeling, when are they stressing out about something, when is it making their heart race, all that stuff.
Yeah, Ben has been really, really good in marking up. He's done it a couple of times for books for me, and I couldn't be more thankful, to be honest. And because having the kind of overall, general fanboying over Ben from me here. What I would say is he gives really wonderful feedback, which is sort of in context, because I think having beta feedback that's kind of more general is really good, but also having the kind of on this line do this, on this line do that is really good.
Mhm.
Because sometimes it's like when you're looking at your 110,000 word manuscript, you're thinking, well, where the hell do I do this or do that? Because I can't remember anything that's in this bloody book, and I wrote the damn thing.
Yeah.
And having written it, you've read it a bunch of times too, and you still like can't
And I'm
retain.
fed up of reading it at that point.
Somebody the other day was talking to me about something in my own book, and I was like, "Really? I put that in? I don't even."
It's like they'll ask, oh, what's your favorite line from your book? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
I know my favorite line from my book, but
The end.
no, I didn't write the end. It's a series. I didn't get to write the end.
I wrote to be continued.
I didn't write that either. But
Yeah, it's just like the trouble is, what I also find is coming back to a draft after a bit of time. Like I'm doing draft 3 at the moment, and especially when I was doing the second draft, when I was writing it at the actual time, I thought, "Oh, this is bloody awful. I just want to kill myself," all that sort of stuff. This is dreadful. Then I read it back months down the line, or a couple of months down the line. It shouldn't be too long. I'm actually thinking, this actually ain't that bad. I think, shit, I'm actually quite good at this.
Yeah, you're too close to it. You need to, step back and take some time away from it. Read it with fresh eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, JK. Good to see you. I am working on chatting with the lovely Adrian and Ben.
Yeah, we're not doing sprints or anything today, JK.
Oh,
This is
thank
more of
God.
a hangout. We're just hanging out. We're talking. We're chit-chatting. Ben, to my left, your right here, released his third novel today. Richard, below us here, is writing his first fantasy book, which I'm psyched about. And I'm working on book 2 of my series, the sequel to Shadow of the Spark. But none of us are actually doing any of that right now. We're just hanging out and talking. Welcome.
It's always nice to have you here. How is Project Sugar and Spice?
Richard, you know everything about everybody.
Oh, I'm just a right gossip, aren't I?
Always looking for more fantasy books to read. And this would be a Richard Holiday fantasy book, which means it's going to be weird as hell.
It's going to be proper odd.
It's going to be weird. Ben's new book, lovely. Always love hanging out with other writers. Well, you are in good company. We are writers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
We are.
Oh, if you, JK, are working tonight, or if you are looking for fresh ideas, I was just telling these folks about this fun stuff that I have right here. This is writing dice, and it creates a unique writing prompt for you every time that I roll the dice. So if you want a unique writing prompt at any point, just shout it out in the chat, and I will roll the dice for you.
Is this the story dice?
It is, well, it's just simply called writing dice. But what I like about it is it's got a couple of categories here, as you can see by the colors. The main category is your character dimensions. So it'll give you 4 different descriptors for your character. Then there's one dice for the time that your story takes place in, one for the place that it is set in, one for the theme explored in your story, one for the conflict going on in the plot, and one for the point of view that we are viewing this whole thing through. And so you roll the dice and you get a fresh prompt every time. It's pretty fun.
Ooh, I'm thrilled.
I'm just listening to you guys and fleshing out the juicy bits for my sci-fi fantasy work in progress. Very nice.
So Ben's work could be termed as urbantasy, a word that I absolutely already hate.
Urbantasy? Why do people do that? It's okay. It's urban.
We've got romantasy, which is
That's fantasy romance. Like it's not like there's already a word for that. We didn't need another word.
It's just how we like to compress words into each other.
I
Squish
guess
them down into one.
it's all about abbreviations now.
The abbreviation for abbreviation is ABBR, I think.
Is that right? Oh yeah, that is correct.
You can abbreviate the word abbreviation to an abbreviation.
You can. It's one of those things where, like, dyslexia is hard to spell, and Lisp has an S in it, and right, like it's like, why are you doing this? My second book, which I really like, can be short.
What's the title of it, by the way, Adrian? Can I ask you that?
Mythic, The Face of Gaia. The
Mythic to Fog. To Fog.
T-Fog.
T-Fog.
This is the title of book 2. So we have Mythic, Shadow of the Spark, and then we have Mythic, The Face of Gaia. I also know the titles of books 3, 4, and 5,
Oh,
but,
damn.
but I cannot tell you those on stream.
Shall I tell you the title of my fantasy book?
Only if you're okay with announcing it to the world here as a Books by Adrian exclusive.
Oh, sod it, why not? Because actually, I was having a bit of a conflict yesterday, thinking it's been called Fantasy Idol for like a month. Fantasy. Wait for the next comment, by the way. Wait for the next comment.
Sign up for H is OnlyFans for that job. Wait, what?
Fantasy.
I'm confused. I just went into Fantasy autocorrected and I went with it. Nice. Nice.
Anyway, the working title for my fantasy idea is Legacy of Iron.
Ooh. With the turn of the Industrial Revolution stuff, that's cool.
I thought that was good as well.
See, that was my problem, was when I came up with titles. I had my 3 books, but I knew that I had like so much potential for more stories, and I was working on my outline for the trilogy, and I saw this opening and I kind of just like pulled at that thread, and before I knew it, I was like, oh, I have all these ideas. So then I was like, but it's not real until I have titles. And like the next day, 2 new titles came to me. I was like, damn it, now I have to write these books. I have titles now.
So my question to you is, what do you think of chapter titles? Because I friggin' hate them.
I don't hate them.
You have this.
I respect the fuck out of them. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, me too. Because it's like coming up with 32 additional titles.
Exactly. I don't need to come up with 35 additional titles. I can give you the name of the character, the number of their chapter, and in the second book, I'm going to include in the chapters, in the chapter labels, not just the name and the number of that character, but also where it's set, because I have 2 storylines going on 2 separate worlds. So I'll keep people locationally aware with each new chapter.
That is very helpful.
Yeah, but chapter titles, I like I said, I respect them, but I'm not doing them. There's too many.
Ben does them, and he does them really well.
Thank
So
you.
all credit to him.
He does do them very well. How many chapters on average in your books, Ben? I want to say it was in the high 20s.
It's in the 30s, low 30s usually.
Low
I'd
30s.
say I go for 30-ish.
They're brisk chapters though. They move at a clip, so
They're not quite like James Patterson levels of short, though.
yeah.
He does like 1-page chapters. I thought you cheeky devil.
Yeah, he's had some really. Yeah, he has short ass chapters. There was that.
Well, when you've got to write like 50 books a year, you don't have time to write long chapters.
He writes a lot.
Allegedly. Oh,
dude, I like that title, man. Legacy of
I
Iron.
really do, because I was thinking, especially as I'm going to start writing it.
Is it a series or a standalone?
No.
Well, it's fun that you mentioned that.
Ben knows the story to this, because I said to him, I got a problem. This was supposed to be like a one-off book, but I was outlining it. I was like, shit, I've come up with too much story again. So it's now a duology, at least. I've never written one of them either. So
Oh, it's already growing.
well, I was literally so my kind of outlining process is like I wrote the backstory in this kind of like Word document as like a sort of like my ideas, just like throwing it on the page like, bleh. Here's all the stuff I've thought of. Then I thought, well, okay, now in the plot summary, it's like, what do I want to happen in this book? And I was like, tapping away, thinking, oh, there's quite a lot of stuff. I'm thinking, is this going to fit in one book? I'm like, no. So I just put asterisk, 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 end of book 1, then continued.
I like it. A nice little workaround.
I was like, ugh, yeah.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm about to show the 2 of you in the private chat the titles of all of my books, but you can't tell anybody ever. And if it gets out, I'll know it was you two.
All right, Richard, I blame it on you.
What?
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3.
They were supposed to be stacked on top of each other.
I see. Okay, so this isn't a possibility for book 2. This is all 5. This is 5 books that are coming out, and this is the order. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's the full series. And if it had let me show them to you stacked up, you would see the middle 3 all follow a similar structure, and then the first and last have a similar wording structure. So there's
Those
a
are some good books, good titles. I'm sure they will be good books as well.
I appreciate you saying
So, one of the things when I was thinking of this title was I didn't want to do the current really in naming convention, which is the X of Y and Z, like, you know, literally like A Song of Ice and Fire, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I thought, fuck me, that's been done to death. So I was like,
House of X.
We don't call it the House of X.
Oh,
we call it the House of Sex. Oh, whoops.
No, because that's X-Men have a whole bunch of where they're currently on like the fall of the House of X or something like that. And they
had the House of M back in the day. Like
no, but like modern stuff, they just broke off with the John Hickman run. It was pretty cool. So
I've been so out of touch with comics, man. I want to go back, but it's left me behind a lot of these.
Me too, because there's let me see here. It's a massive time and money suck, but let's see here.
Yeah.
So we got.
This is why I really love like trade paperbacks now, man. Like I don't need to collect like monthly comics anymore, but I love occasionally getting a nice graphic novel to sink my teeth into.
Right. Well, it's pretty cool because they basically just started off with an all new canon thing where they had all the mutants on Krakoa. So they had their own mutant island again, and there was all this drama associated with that.
Yeah, the X-Men series of comics has always been very intimidating to like get into. Like, where do you start? Like, you know.
And what's worse is when they start getting popular, they have like 6 books per, 6 to 12 books per month. So
listen, I have no idea where to start with comic books, to be honest. I am well aware that ship has totally sailed at this point.
You never know.
It's a bit like the Marvel films. I know there's been about sort of like 20 of them now. I'm like, I'm just fine letting that ship sail past me because there is no chance I'm going to catch up with that. To be honest, there's no chance.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Everybody gets really bogged down about the continuity thing with Marvel movies. Like they're all like so worried about the continuity, and I don't have time.
Who cares?
You don't need to worry about that stuff. You need to find the movies that you like and watch those, and avoid the ones that you don't. This newest phase of Marvel movies, everybody likes to trash on it, but Shang-Chi came out in this latest batch of movies. I really like that one.
This is the thing that when they say, "Oh, you've got to watch it in this particular order," I'm thinking, who cares?
Never anything like you can watch.
You're overdoing it, to be honest, and it almost like it's almost in a way that they're playing to the fans and no one else. It's become a bit of a closed kind of shop in a way.
Here's the thing, man. Like they really do put out really great stuff sometimes. The Loki series is really good. Both seasons are some of the best stuff that Marvel has ever done, period. Ever. And it's a Loki TV show. All the rest of their shows, they're dwarfed by Loki. They look so bad in comparison because Loki is that fucking good. But, for every Loki, there's 5 other horrible, series that everybody complains about. Just don't watch those. Just watch the good ones.
But the thing is when they start lowering the quality so they can produce more and more and more, which is they started course correcting that. And so now I don't think there's going to be a movie out at all this year.
Well, good. They should take their time and put out something good. Good for them.
Yeah.
I think the trouble is we live in a world now where there is just so much content. It is just everywhere. There is no hope of being able to keep up, especially with someone like me where I have to kind of watch things I cannot literally have about sort of 5 books on the go at the same time, kind of 5 TV shows. I do literally one thing at a time, which means my kind of like consumption is so much slower. But the thing is, I can't mentally deal with sort of like 4 novels that I'm reading at a time. I'm thinking, I don't fucking know what's going on.
I can only read one novel at a time.
Exactly. I can read one novel at a time.
I can only binge one series at a time. You know what I mean? Like
And also, what I would say is when I watch a TV show, like the last one I watched was Reacher season 2. That was really good.
I haven't watched season 2 yet, but season 1 was outstanding. My wife and I
It
just
was fantastic as an adaptation. It was like a textbook of how to adapt a book and do it properly.
they did a very good job.
But the thing is, when I watch a TV show, I need to take a few days after that to kind of like mentally digest it. But it's like I think the kind of attitude we have now is like, right, you've watched this, next thing. Right, don't save it. You don't have time to save it. You need to keep watching.
Let me tell you, dude.
Exhausting.
You're right, but here's the thing: just like everything else, there's a balance to be found. There are shows that are made to be binged, where like the best way to consume them is to just binge through them, and then there are shows that honestly, the streaming and binge model, if anything, is a detriment. For example, Netflix put out Blue Eye Samurai. Has either of you watched Blue
Absolutely.
Richard, have you watched Blue Eyed Samurai?
No, but tell me more.
Bro, amazing.
Extremely violent.
Just one of the best animated series I have ever watched. I watched it, and before I finished all 8 episodes, is that 8 episodes?
It's short. I don't remember.
Before I finished all 8 episodes, I think after I watched the 5th one, I went to my wife and I was like, babe, I know that you don't watch animated stuff. This doesn't qualify as what you think animation is. Like, this is a freaking amazing series, and you got to watch this with me. 1 episode, she was hooked. She doesn't watch animated stuff. She watched the entire thing with me, and it's outstanding. It's so good. But my point was that's a show that if they had released it weekly, people would be talking about it for an entire week until the next episode came out. People would be dissecting it and talking about theories. It would be a water cooler show like Lost, like Game of Thrones, like Breaking Bad. It would be that, but it's a Netflix show where they released everything all at once. Everybody binged it, and now nobody's talking about it anymore. And it's like, like that show could have very much benefited from being released weekly.
Because I noticed they did that with Reacher season 2. They released it periodically. Because I think with season 1 they just dropped the whole thing in one go. It's like, boom, there you go. You're right. Having it weekly means there's something to kind of anticipate, look forward to, talk about.
Gives you time to
about Game of Thrones so much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Game of Thrones until that went pear shaped. Oh,
yeah. But the point of that is that people were talking about it. People were
it really was
all the way to the end. Even when it got bad, people were talking about that show. Nobody would shut up Game of Thrones. People are still talking about it. They're talking about how bad it became, but they're still talking about it. That's what you want, man. You want people to just endlessly jab about your show.
So one that Ben got me into or got me to watch was what was it called? What was the pirate one called? One Piece.
Oh yeah.
I didn't expect to like that, but I did. It was a bit zany, but
the live action version.
Yeah. So the live action version is like the first couple of seasons on speed.
Gotcha. Which is what the Avatar live action version is. It's the first season on speed.
I have to say, once I kind of I think it took the first couple of episodes for me to kind of click with what this show was about. And I realized it wasn't 100% serious. I was like, okay, I can get on board with that. And it was good fun. And I'm really glad Ben recommended it to me.
Yeah, before the live action remake, everyone was telling me to watch One Piece, and then I looked at how many episodes there was, and I was like, I am never getting into this. This is way too big. Like, no way. But now that they're doing the live action remake, I'm like, all right, I can.
It was good fun. I enjoyed it.
It's on my list. I'll get to it eventually. Right now, we're about to dive into Reacher season 2. We saw the first episode. We're going to dive into episode 2 soon.
Have you read the book it's based on?
No, I haven't read any of the books, but I know, like I knew enough about the books just from pop culture context that when the movies came out, I watched the trailers and I was like, that's not the book. I haven't read the book and I know that's not the book. So like I haven't read them, but I'm fairly familiar with them.
So an interesting. I don't think this is a spoiler. There's an interesting thing in season 2. They kind of acknowledge that the films with Tom Cruise are actually canon, so they're not going to get readapted.
Right. Oh wait, really? That
Yeah.
like that they like make a statement about that sort of in
Yeah,
this?
because there's a statement where he refers to the events of the first Jack Reacher book, which is based on the novel One Shot, which
Right.
sadly is a really bloody good book, which would do well with a proper quote unquote adaptation.
They already did it for the
They
movie.
they say, "Oh, we were in Indiana at that point," so it's like acknowledging that the events of that movie have happened in this universe. Does that make any sense to you? They're kind of
Well,
acknowledging.
to me, what that says is the events of that first book are canon,
Mhm.
not necessarily that adaptation of that first book is canon. You know what I'm
But
saying?
the events have already happened.
No, I get that. I get that.
Yeah,
Like they're not going to readapt it, but they're not necessarily saying that the Jack Reacher movies are the canon events. They're
yeah,
just
it's kind of saying off screen it's happened. You
yeah.
can read into that what you like. So it's kind of an interesting approach, to be honest. So, Ben, have you watched any of these yet?
Nope, I've heard about them, so there's that.
Ben, do you like seeing big, meaty, chunky guys beating the shit out of bad people?
Yeah, so fun fact, the guy who plays Reacher, I know him from, I mean, I don't know him, but like I recognize him from Blue Mountain State. So we have completely different interpretations of that actor.
Bro, I recognize him from an episode of New Girl where
And
played
Smallville.
where he played a guy that she dated until she found out that he has a micro penis, and then she had to figure out how to dump him without making it about his micro penis.
I'm not being funny. I don't think in Reacher he has a micro penis.
I'm not saying that he does. His character on New Girl had a micro penis. I'm sure he's got a monster on him, dude. Have you seen his hands? That dude's packing.
I mean,
yeah.
not being funny. This guy is fucking humongous.
Ben, my best pitch of this series is a giant man walks across America solving problems by being big. That's the show.
Okay.
And a lot of people die along the way. There's a lot of action. It's really good.
Fair enough. I like it.
Interesting.
Why don't you say the quiet parts out loud, Richard? Why do you write them in my chat?
Well, what did you expect?
Pretty much this, Richard. Pretty much this. That's why. That's why
I think that the thing with the Reacher season 1 is this guy really does embody the character, because if you read the books, this guy's supposed to be like a 6'4" absolute fucking tank.
Yeah, he's
and unfortunately, as good as an actor Tom Cruise is, he's fucking tiny.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, yeah, you do Mission Impossible movies and action movies, like we get it, but you are not Jack Reacher, dude. Like that's
unfortunate. And I think even the author Lee Child was like, no insult to Tom Cruise, but he was not the right.
It's literally like the most important thing about the character is that he's enormous. Like he's just fucking enormous. He's a great detective. He's a great soldier.
He's intelligent.
He's
yeah,
skilled. He's all of these things.
He's fucking huge.
All of those things pale in comparison to the fact that this dude is just fucking massive. He's so big.
And also, I think that the fact that he is massive, he has this kind of presence on the screen that you cannot take your fucking eyes off him. And I think that's why he works really well in that role, because when he, again, partly because he takes up most of the bloody screen whenever he's on it, because he's so huge.
Well, what makes him really scary to me is the fact that he is in fact so incredibly skilled, where like if he was a Tom Cruise sized person, he would still be incredibly lethal based on his skill set alone. But on top of his skill set, he's a fucking giant. You know what I mean? So like when he sits across from you at the table and looks at you, you're shitting.
And also, not being funny, he has this kind of presence where he doesn't have to say a word, and you're thinking, something's going to happen with this guy. Something's going to happen here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And I have to say, the whole kind of mini-series format works so much better for adapting a book than a 2-hour film does.
Agreed.
Because you have more time to actually take the story and not be like, oh, what can we fit into 2 hours? Oh, right, Forget that page.
Have you
Forget
guys
that page.
watched? Have you guys watched The Haunting of Hill House? It's one of my favorite adaptations of all time.
It's on my very, very long list of things to eventually watch.
It's a fucking masterpiece, bro. It's a masterpiece.
All right.
It's a masterpiece. It's one of those things that, like, when you watch it as a writer, you're like, I fucking suck, dude. Like, there are people who can do this. How do you do this? This is amazing. It's
I
wild.
get that too. Whenever I read anything Ben's written, and then I think,
Yeah,
I'm a fucking hack.
You're
Compared
just
to
bring
Yeah,
it
you.
back to launch day, everybody. We got a new book on shelves.
Thank you.
It's just like,
In the house. You know what? I'm gonna do the rest of this thing from down here because you're fucking. I don't know.
I don't know. But
Hey,
dear.
Devin's here. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome. You're here for the chat.
Devin, we were just
I like
discussing everyone's favorite scene from Mythic Shadow of the Spark. What was yours? We weren't, but we're gonna start now. Richard, you haven't read it yet.
I'll get to it eventually. Don't you worry.
Lies.
I mean, okay. I mean, I was just trying to be nice then. But I, in all seriousness, I will eventually get to it. It's just everything's in a bit of a mess at the moment. My TBR is out the window. I think I've read about 4 books this year, and you get these people who say, "Okay, this month I'm going to read the following 16 books." I'm thinking, how the fuck do you have time for that?
Some people read like madmen, bro.
They do. And some of these people are not employed as well, so I'm thinking that explains it as well.
I don't know. I mean, if they're turning it into content online, and then more power to them. But like, I just don't know how they get so much reading done. I believe that they do though. Like I've watched like a lot of these booktubers who are reading like huge books in very short amounts of time. There was a girl who she's got a booktube channel, and I don't know her name off the top of my head. I'll find her later. But she went to go read one of the Brian Sanderson books, and she like held it up. It was a hardcover, it was enormous, just this huge fucking book. And she's like, "Well, I've chopped it up into this many pages, and I'm going to read it across the next week." I think she gave herself a week to read the whole thing. She read it in 3 days, and she like sets up a camera, and like you see her like reading the thing, and after every like day, she would do a whole like, "Hey, here's a summary of what I read today." and she read the whole fucking thing in 3 days. And I'm like, how are you doing this? But then you watch her video, and she's not doing anything else. She's waking up and she's making her stuff, and then she's reading most of the day. And I'm like, yeah, I could read the whole fucking thing too if I didn't have anything to do.
Exactly. Like, oh, if only I didn't have to go to my real job and pay my bills. I imagine that.
Man, I get up at 5 in the morning to go to work. And I get home at 5. I get home at 5 p.m. It's a long day.
Shit.
That's what's up, Devin. That's what's up. I like how you're just giving people a little bit of this sprinkle of the spice.
Salt Bay.
Just letting us know it's in there. You just gotta find it.
There's a sprinkle of what's to come.
That's good shit.
That's what you should put on the cover. It's good shit.
It is. It's good shit. Thanks for joining me, guys. This is fun.
You are most welcome.
This is what I wanted. Just a nice chill hangout.
Good chat. We just, we're shooting the shit, which is good fun. We should do more of this. Hang on, is she going to cook her kids? I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, don't cook your children, but feel free to cook for them as much as. I believe people go to jail for that shit, bro.
Only if they get caught.
What did I think of? What?
Only if they get caught.
Oh, if they get caught. Well, that's what I was gonna say, man. Like, there's some crazy shit going on lately, man. Like, there's this whole Diddy thing going on right now. There's
dude,
that lady who left her baby alone for like 10 days so she could go party on the beach in Puerto Rico. She left a 16-month-old alone, just in a crib by herself. And when she came back, of course she was dead. And it's like, She didn't call anybody to tell her that her baby was alone. She just took off. She just took off. And when she came back, she was shocked to find her baby dead. And she's spending life in prison now. It's like, it's crazy, dude. Like, it's crazy. There's so much shit going on.
Fill me in what this Diddy thing is. First of all, who the fuck is Diddy?
Diddy is Sean P. Diddy Combs, also known as Puff Daddy.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah, well, I don't remember obviously. Well,
they just raided his houses under suspicion of like sex trafficking, and he
my word,
to somewhere without extradition and left his children to get arrested for him. It's a whole thing, bro. Like, it's a whole fucking thing. And now people who are, of course, cahooting with him are getting found out. Like, it's another, like, it's a whole other like Epstein thing. It's
the House of Cards is falling apart.
It's the Epstein for the music industry. Like, he's the new Epstein. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I love Ben's reaction. Oh boy.
Thank you for showing it off on your live yesterday. I love knowing that people are talking about this beautiful book. Tell more people about it. Yes, thank you very much. It's lovely. Devin's the best. Fucking love Devin. Ooh. Yeah, man. She's a cheerleader for us. She's the best.
Did you hear about that author who complained that a reader borrowed their book from the library and then said, "Oh, well, if you really want to support me, you'll go and buy my book." And they came across as a right arsehole. This is on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, that sucks. That's, some people.
Oh shit!
Feel some type of way. I guess that's.
I mean, not being funny.
I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. Go to the library, get it for free.
Plus you do get paid.
Every single week that I send out a newsletter, there's a link in my newsletter to get a free review copy of my book. You do not have to pay for my book. I freely give it away.
So here it is. So this person posted a tweet about this book, and then the author, whose name was Rob Copeland, replied, "It's even better when you buy, not borrow, your copy." And then the tweet calling this out has had 5.8 million views, 125,000 likes, lots of reposts. So, yeah, this guy got, I believe the term is ratioed.
Ratioed, yeah.
It just to me, it just comes across as quite mean-spirited because, let's face it, I'm more interested in people reading my stories, to be honest. I'm not thinking, oh wow, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow, because I know that's really kind of unlikely. So I'm going to have to keep working my day job, but that's fine, to be honest. My day job supports my writing hobby / passion.
There was an author that got wrapped up in some controversy on TikTok because she responded to a 4-star review of her book that included some criticisms in the review, along with a lot of positives, but included some criticisms. And the author just reamed this reviewer, just lost her shit on this person. And the entire internet was like, "Excuse me, author, chill the fuck out. Like, what is wrong with you? That's a 4-star review. That's not bad at all, man." Like,
first of all, reviews are not for authors.
Reviews, like, it's a numbers game, bro. It's a review. And it was a mostly positive one. Like, she liked your book. Like, she liked it. Like, oh, it was rough, man. Like,
oh,
you don't know what's going on in people's heads, man. You don't know what was going on in that author's day. Like, you just don't know.
Some people are crackers.
Seriously.
Listen, I'd be happy with 5 reviews, to be honest, because I know reviews are like bloody gold dust at the moment.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Devin Gambrel Clark, tell us all about your sci-fi readathon. Tell us more. Now, apparently, Richard is very interested to find out.
Oh, sorry. It's only because we've literally just gone through daylight savings time. So it went from midnight to 2 in the morning. I'm like, where the hell? I've just traveled through time.
Daylight savings time is a trip. You're a time
It is.
How is it,
farmers?
What's it like in the future?
Don't know. I'm scared.
You're scared to look out your window.
I don't know. The world might have ended. I've only got 5 hours to warn you guys. You'll be fine.
The way shit's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was like, "Oh yeah, the world ended yesterday." Oh yeah, I didn't even notice.
I got some author friends in Australia, and I always say to them, "Please warn me if there's an apocalypse coming." So I've got like 12 hours to kind of prepare.
Smart, always smart to have a lookout. Australia is your lookout.
I mean, not being funny. As a former British penal colony, I think they owe us that one.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
A British
Australian.
what?
Get your mind out of the gutter, Adrian. Yeah, we used to just send convicts to Australia back in the olden days.
I'm such a child. I'm like penal. All of May is my sci-fi month. I'm planning a readathon of all things science fiction. Thoughtful artists can take criticism. A 4-star review is nothing to be mad about. I wholeheartedly agree with you. This person was out of their mind. Criticism should be appreciated. I also agree with that. I saw, and I've talked about this recently on a stream that I did with Martin. I saw the most brilliant piece of marketing I have ever seen. It was on Instagram, and it was an author. God damn it! Why can't I ever remember anybody's name? I want to say I'll look it up because it's on my Instagram. I'll look it up while I talk. But this author took her she took her bad reviews, right, and turned it into marketing. So it's a slide. It slides on Instagram, and the first slide is a chunk of a bad review that's complaining about how long the book was. It was too long, too many side stories, that kind of thing. And then you slide over, and it complains about too many point of view characters. And then you slide over, and it complains about stuff. And then when you get to the last slide, she goes, "So in summary, if you like books that are epic, that have many point of view characters, and listed all of the things that these didn't like, and like if you like all those things, this book has all those things." And I was like, this is genius. It was so smart. My comment on it was, I hope you don't mind when I totally steal this idea from you and use it in my own marketing. She's like, go right ahead, dude. Like, have fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm
That's
like,
literally,
that's mine.
Literally, there's no publicity like bad publicity, so that's a really good way of doing it.
It was so smart. I was like, that is genius, to take your bad reviews, your 1-star, 2-star reviews, and turning it into your marketing. The
thing is, I would say, is 1-star and 2-star reviews can actually be quite helpful if the review is penis colony. Behave. It's supposed to be a serious discussion.
That was you.
I said the word penal, and you went off on one.
Penal.
It's one of those words that sounds like it should be rude, but it isn't.
Right, yeah. It's like he said it's like when people say pianist. Like you know what it is. You know what a pianist is. But whenever somebody says it, you're like,
I mean, you might be.
I can only speak for myself. You are correct. But every time I hear pianist, in my mind, I'm like,
Ben, do you have any words like that make you giggle when you shouldn't be giggling?
Moist.
My second book is called Expanding Cracks. So...
Ben's had plenty of jokes about that, haven't you?
That was the correct response, Ben. That was the correct response.
And all I'm going to say is I don't mean any of the jokes.
No?
Sincerely, don't worry.
You're smiling.
My wife is making very crude gestures at that comment.
Crude gestures.
You know, I'm on.
What is happening?
Adrian's channel.
Welcome to Books by Adrian.
This is on YouTube, by the way. So I heard that.
And it's live. Everyone.
Fine. Do you want me to repeat it?
Yes.
All right. So Adriana says, "I'll show you my expanding crack." That's my wife, everybody. That's my wife.
Oh dear.
That's a keeper. That's a keeper if I ever heard one.
He says that's a keeper. Adrian says that's a keeper to Adriana.
I bought all 3 into the books. I may or may not have a book. Thank you. I do have a name.
Oh yeah, you can hear him. Cool. I don't know how much is picking up with my mic. So
Oh, it's picking up everything.
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
no.
What?
It's picking up everything.
That's what she said.
Oh man, I really wish I could find this author. I want to give her props.
No.
I really want to give her props, man, because it's such a smart piece of marketing.
Good luck finding anything on Instagram.
I know, right? Well, no, it's because I commented on it and she replied to my comment. So if I can just find, I'm looking through my comment threads and hoping that, oh, bingo, I found her.
Nice.
Good.
I found her. All right, so it's Tara A. Lake. You guys familiar here? I'm gonna share her screen.
I feel like you mentioned her before.
I'm gonna share her screen here. Share my screen rather. Okay, so check it out. So Tara A. Lake, right? Let's see if I can find the exact one that I was talking about. But as you can see, she's very active on here. She's got. Oh, here we go. Why you might like Age of the Almec based on bad reviews. I'm not always a fan of consistently short chapters. It does not have a conventional beginning, middle, and end. I found that I enjoyed the overall setting, characters, world building, and plot more than I expected to. The motivation.
Really, I don't know why that would be on a 2-star review.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good one. The motivations for several antagonists were never alluded to or explored. World building, large amounts of characters, and intricate plots are where I struggle to follow along. So, in conclusion, if you like stories that veer from the traditional hero's journey to discover characters' motivations, depth throughout an entire series, a lot of short chapters, a ton of characters, and intricate world building to have your expectations defied, then Age of the Almec might be for you. I just thought that was so smart. That's such a smart piece of marketing. So, Miss Tara A. Lake, hats off to you, man.
Steal that idea.
That's some dope stuff. Good times.
You're causing trouble again.
Who, me? My husband just asked if I was okay because I choked on my drink cracks.
You're welcome.
Cracks, consider upping your fiber intake.
So what you're saying is I should have included a lot more fiber in book 2?
Well, the thing is, I want to go away from
eating raisin bran
because your book 2 was not shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I honestly I haven't had a chance to read book 2, so I don't know. But the title doesn't turn me off. It's just funny to make fun of it.
Oh, it's amusing. It's amusing.
I know. But I went off on. So I came up. Well, my wife and I came up with that title in a car ride up to her sister's house. That's about 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and we spent half of it just trying to come up with a good title for it. So that was, of the 3 books, Expanding Cracks was by far the hardest one to land on. And even then I was like, Richard's going to spend the entire duration of this book's lifespan making fun of it.
You knew it before the title.
In my defense, it wasn't just me that made fun of it. And to be honest, I wasn't making fun of it in a sort of nasty or hurtful way. Ben knows that, I don't mean any of the criticism.
I just want to point out that I gave you like 25 title names.
Yeah, but...
And you were insistent that it be 2 words.
I love how Ben is now blaming his wife for this one.
A lot of title names.
I know, we had a 2-hour car ride discussing it and debating it.
And I was driving at the time, so I couldn't even look things up in the thesaurus. I was asking you to do it, and you were like, no, I'm not going to look that up. And I was like, I am driving the car. I can't look things up on my phone.
No, she's calling you out, bro.
Another word for like void or rifts or whatever. I was like, I need you to do it because I'm not a dictionary.
Yo, listen.
I didn't slander. I said.
Well, you were like, "Oh, Adriana came up with the name," and I knew Richard was going to mock it for like the whole life cycle of the book.
Oh yeah, that's a true statement. That's not making fun of anything that we came up with.
Yeah, that's not fair to say like, "Oh, I gave you just that name." I give you like a lot.
That is true. That is true.
So I can hear you through the floor.
Your secrets are out.
This is a very nice glimpse into what it's like for another person to be married to a writer. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to translate what Adrian's saying. So he says this is our conversation is a glimpse of what it's like to be married to a writer.
Yes, and that was one of my suggestions for Ben to do on his YouTube channel is like growing pains of like being in a relationship with a writer.
We did something like that.
I know.
Ooh, yeah. You should listen to your wife more, Ben.
My favorite was when you were like, "I'm running out of content."
I'm not going to copy that one over.
Content for YouTube,
Fine,
and I was
fine,
like,
fine.
"I have so many ideas for YouTube. What are you talking about?"
I know.
And you were like, "What ideas?" Like our anniversary.
I'm pretty sure Ben.
Adrian says I need to listen to you more.
I mean, not being funny. I think Ben listens to my YouTube ideas more than his wife's.
I'm sorry. I'll go.
That needs to be corrected, stat. But there
Also, not being funny. Not being funny.
Ben, what did you do? Because your wife is going off tonight, bro. You did something.
No, not at all. Our vacation time is about to end, so we are counting down the hours to when we have to get back to the real world.
He's going to have to expand those cracks pretty quickly then.
Hey-o! I said you could curse. I didn't say you could be disrespectful.
That's fine.
Hang on. Me? Disrespectful? Never. I am the epitome of tact.
Oh, man. That's so funny. Your wife is hilarious, Ben. That was good. That was good. All right, you guys. It has been fun. I think we're going to call it a night.
Ben's wife needs her own channel.
Facts, bro. Facts. I keep thinking about putting my wife on the channel. I actually did a reaction video type thing with her for the first episode of Black Sails. Is that what it's called? Black Sails? And it was a great first episode to a series. I wanted to keep watching it, but like I never did anything with it for the channel, so she and I just didn't watch further. But she did well on it. Like I want to do something with her on the channel. I don't know what. It has to be the right project. Because she doesn't care about this shit. She doesn't want to be on here. I would, but she would do so well on it. She's adorable. I think people would like her. Anyway. Guys, why don't you sign off? Tell people what they should be buying. You guys got books out and stuff. Ben, you first, since today is your launch day. Hit them up.
Sure. Yeah. I came out with my book today. It's Saving the Lost, and it is the culmination of the first two books where there was a character who got disappeared, and this is a kind of rescue mission to figure out what happened to them and where things go, and a lot of chaos ensues. Like I mentioned before, it's a bit darker than the previous two books. And I thoroughly enjoy reading it. So, first of all, if you want to buy it, if any of that sounds interesting to you, check out my book, Saving the Lost. If you do check it out, please rate and review it. If not, no worries. The book isn't for everyone, so no hard feelings if you don't pick it up. And that's all I got.
Before Richard takes over,
it's on Amazon.
I would like to add for Ben, I've only read the first in the series, but that first book is excellent. It gives me Heroes vibes from that show Heroes from back in the day. It kind of has
a TV show.
Yeah, like it just feels like that kind of energy from like that time. It makes me feel nostalgic for that show. And I don't know if anyone else considers that a compliment, but I do. As that first season of that show is something that lives rent free in my head, as the kids say. So if that sounds good to you, check out the first book and work your way up to book 3, because this is already like shaping up to be quite the series, man. Good on you.
Thank you,
Richard.
Hello. I am here to support the lovely Ben, who is a very dear friend of mine, and he launched his book today. Well done, Ben. I am the author of Price War, which you may consider buying, so who knows? Oh, Devon says it's a feature for May. May you enjoy it then. We like that. I also have a newsletter, which may or may not make you cry, depending on what happens.
And don't
so
you have a book coming out soon too?
Oh, shit.
Today.
Oh, yes, you can pre-order Price War, The Colour of Money, which is coming out at the end of June. So I need to kind of get my arse in gear on that one. But this was fun to come and chat with the lovely Adrian and the lovely Ben, and by extension, Ben's lovely wife.
Yeah, that was fun.
Who deserves more credit than she's getting, by the way.
I'm sorry, Richard. What was that? I spoke over you.
It seems that Ben's wife deserves more credit than she's getting. Maybe she needs to be a co-author on the book now.
Yeah, I mean, she helped with the title. I come up with all my own titles, Ben. I don't ask my wife.
Oh, battle lines have been drawn.
All right, y'all. It's my turn. That right there is my first novel, Mythic, Shadow of the Spark. It's a crime thriller set in a sci-fi fantasy world. It is the first in a 5-book series. I am currently writing book 2. You can get the prologue short story to that book for free by signing up to my newsletter. You can sign up to my newsletter at booksbyadrian.com. And thank you guys so much for joining me. This was fun. I had a nice chill time, which is what I wanted. And for anyone interested in getting some writing done, join me tomorrow. We're doing some strict Pomodoro sprints. We're going to get some fucking writing done, man. I'm gonna get this. This zero draft done ASAP. So everybody in the chat, thank you for joining. You are all so very lovely and wonderful, and I love all of you in many different ways. I don't know what that means.
Just not that way.
Just all different ways. You don't know, but I'm not going to tell you, but there's a spectrum. All right, y'all. Love, peace, and all that good stuff. Have a great one, guys.
Woot. Happy Saturday.
Bye.
Who said woot?